Hey everybody, it's Chris Fletcher from Music Biz Mentors, and this is Making Money, Making Music podcast, and this is really number two. What we're doing in our podcast is going to be launched every 2 weeks, and last week we had a interview with Deborah Johnson, a lifetime musician, and we're going to be doing that once a month. We're interviewing musicians that are doing it for a living, telling their stories, how they got where they are, uh, what are the most important things for them. And then I'll come on 2 weeks later and talk about how to start some of those careers for yourself. Really want this podcast to be more conversational sounding, educational, and also encouraging you to let you know that you can do this. The music career is not easy, and so we're here to make it easier and give you step by step ideas to kind of get you going or get you to continue get going. So that's what we're going to do. Our very first interview was with Deborah Johnson, who's again a lifetime musician. So she is not only a songwriter and performer, she's a book author, she's a speaker, she's a blog and podcast leader, educator. She does a lot of different things. And one of the biggest things that she talked about was diversifying. And most we find that musicians who do this for a living do at least two things really, really well. So there's a lot of different kinds of professions, maybe things that you've never even thought of before. And so that's why we go into the interviews, because you may start with wanting to be an original songwriter and you end up being a touring musician or even a producer or something like that. So I feel like that the interviews gives you different ideas for yourself. And so that's kind of what we're doing with this kind of stuff. So, but for me, Deborah's two big takeaways was first of all, know your business. She tells everybody who's just starting, she did it the hard way, piece by piece by piece, doing things wrong. And then she says, if they just get a little education underneath their belt, you can really go quickly through a lot of different parts of this. Getting your business together is really important. And I don't think you need a whole lot of things to make it happen. So actually, I'm going to go through today 7 different items business wise. And I think if you do these, then you can get started right away. So during these podcasts, also, they won't only be audio, but a day after our audio podcast is on, we will also put a video on YouTube. And my segments will also have a PowerPoint list for you so you can follow along and make sure that you get everything you need. So we do a lot of different events here, and if you get on our mailing list at musicbizmentors.com, we will be able to share all the information with you. So, but let's get started. We're turning on the PowerPoint here, and these are 7 business basic steps to kind of get yourself started. Number 1, domain name. Go to GoDaddy, domainname.com, and look up your name. Look up your surname. Your surname is the name you use every day, the one that your parents gave to you. See if it's not taken. You'd be surprised if it's not taken or not, because you will always be you, right? As a musician yourself, even if you belong to a band or something like that. So number 1, look for that. And then don't spell it weird. Don't put a whole lot of numbers in it. People aren't going to remember to come to see you. It's spelled differently and things like that. Always, 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 always get the .com. Make sure that your socials have the exact name. So whatever you're doing, from TikTok to Instagram and anything in between, you really want to make sure that it's the exact name so people can find you, right? The internet, again, is not regulated, which means that even if you have the domain name or a website with that name, it doesn't mean you can stop somebody online who's already using it. So look for that .com. It can take a while, especially if you have a band name and you want to make sure you're getting what you need. So it'll take a while, but you know what? It's worth it. That .com, always remember. You don't want anybody to steal your thunder. Even if you're not ready to do a website yet, get it now. It can cost you anywhere from a penny to $20 a year to keep it, depending on how popular it is and if they're having a sale and all that kind of stuff. So whatever it is, get it for yourself. The next step for me is copywriting your songs. So we're talking about going to copyright.gov and look at the how to fill in the paperwork. It's not that hard to do. You really need to know the songwriters' names, addresses, when they were born. It's really good to just have basic information for those kind of things. And that's really basic information. You can do a bunch of songs together if you'd like, but it is the only thing that the U.S. courts use as proof that it belongs to you. It's a myth that you can date stamp it yourself or you can send it to yourself in the mail and don't open it. That doesn't work in our courts. So you really need within 90 days of putting it out into the world, you should consider copywriting your songs because you don't want somebody to steal a part of it. With 120,000 songs on Spotify every single day, don't you want to protect those songs? Next, we're going to talk about how are people going to find you. So, number one, add metadata onto your songs. There are even experienced musicians that I've talked to lately who have no idea what metadata is. Metadata is for all the audio songs that you have been recorded and you have an MP3 or something like that of it. It's information about the song and who are the writers. So it's song information about every single production that you have. So you add songwriters' names, contact information, publishing information, and notes. You may want to put a note that says something like, this is a great song for a picnic scene, or music is good for lovers saying goodbye on a train. And I'm telling you to do that because if a music supervisor gets a hold of your song and likes it, the first thing they will do is push the button so they can see if it has metadata on it. If your contact information is not there, they will move on to someone else. And you never know who is going to find you and maybe want to use it for a podcast or their radio interview or something like that. So it's just really, really important that you understand what metadata is. How do you put metadata on if you don't know? Just go to YouTube and say, how do I put metadata on my songs? So whatever, whether it's a WAV or it's an MP3 or whatever it is, they will show you exactly. And I think any of the videos I've seen, maybe 3 minutes long, really, really easy to make sure you do that stuff. So people have to track you. They have to be able to find you. My next professional thing to tell you is develop a website. This is how you look professional. You can't just have a TikTok and an Instagram anymore. How do we get a hold of you? And so leave you a message. I've done it a couple times. People don't get back to me. They don't know who I am or what I'm going to ask or anything like that, but it's not a full connection. So let's say you got your domain name, you're just sitting on it right now, and you're like, oh man, I can't think about doing a website. Then go to Bandcamp or Reverb Nation and get a free service from them. They are free. A lot of musicians start that way, and some of them stay that way, right? You want to add listeners, you want to get praise from people, you want possible opportunities. People have to find you. So it's important for you to start thinking about those things, but there are free ways to do this before you decide to sit around and put together a website yourself. Yes, I said yourself. There are websites like Wix and also Bandzoogle that will help you do all of that. And so when you're ready for that, you can go after that. But in the meantime, go get that Bandcamp with information so we can find you. What are you going to need? You should know what you need before you get started. A short bio. We're talking 50 words, how you started, how long you've been playing. Keep it really simple and short, right? And then a photo of the band or you it's okay to do it on an iPhone, right? One song, even if it's done live, and then it's okay to have a live video. So you can come on Zoom just like we are, and you can just record a cover or original or whatever. And so you want to have just at least that much to get yourself started, even if you haven't put the song out into the world yet, so people can see who you are and find you. So to me, these two are really, really important to kind of get yourself going. And then I'm always encouraging you to join a PRO or a performing rights organization. We're talking about ASCAP, BMI, or CSAC, right? These organizations, what they do is they collect your royalties for you. They do not copyright your songs. You have to copyright your own songs through the Copyright Office, but they collect your royalties if someone is doing your song out there. So sign up as a musician and your own publisher. There are two kinds of royalties. There's performer music, and I mean performer royalties, and there are publishing royalties. So you need to sign up for both. So call if your name is John Marks, then call yourself John Marks Music or John Marks Productions or John Marks Entertainment or something like that. Keep it simple. Don't start thinking of a name, because if you look at different kinds of names, they may be taken already. So as you put them in, they'll say, do you have, this is taken, so kind of choose another one. Keep your name simple. I suggest just putting your name, something with your name in it, right? They collect your royalties when your songs are used by any type of media, on radio, TV, internet, all that kind of stuff. And then add all your songs to both profiles. It's up to you to go into your profile on each one and put your song titles, the songwriters, the publishers for you, or whoever is a songwriter, if there's someone else who is a publisher. It's important to have all that information in there so you can get some money here and there. We call this mailbox money, because a good song can be done over and over and over again, and you could get money for that. I am suggesting that people join ASCAP because it's still free to join. You can join as a musician, performer, and also as a publisher. And this, I don't know when that's going to go away. It usually costs somewhere between $100 $150 to sign up for both. They all do the same thing. I like them all. One of the big things that I like about ASCAP is I feels like they do more for new songwriters more than anything else. But they all do the same thing. They all collect your money. So whichever one you feel like you want to go to, I'm fine with that. But just get it going, just so you have all the professional things that you need. One of the things that later on some of our other podcasts, we might start talking about, if you want to have your songs in TV and film and all that kind of stuff. And one of the biggest deals is that if a publisher actually finds a song, they will ask you a couple of questions. They will ask you, one, do you own the masters of the song? Two, do you belong to a PRO, ASCAP, BMI, SCSAC? Is the song copyright? And then do you have permission, if it's just you or another writer, that you can say yes today? Because sometimes they need permissions really quickly. So that's why having all these little pieces of the pie, and someone finds your song and wants to use it, you have everything you need to get it started. Okay, so that's how I feel about that, because I've had people have songs listened to, and then they think it's good for something, but if they don't have one of those things, they have to pass, because they call you on Thursday and they need permission for Tuesday the following week. So I think it's an important piece of the business that we're talking about here. The next thing we talk about is accepting money. You have to be ready for that. This new world of money, there's a lot of people paying by PayPal, Zelle, Venmo, and Square is actually a credit card. But you have to have a checking account. All this with money, and it has to go to a checking account, right? So go to LegalZoom. This is how I do it. Go in, look, how do I get a DBA? DBA means doing business as. So you have to do paperwork to show the world that you are a new business. And so they can do it all for you. In the past, you could be able to do it yourself and get it listed in a newspaper and then take that copy of it and then go downtown and register it with your city, those kind of things, and your state. They will do all that for you. So it costs $99 to do it, and then whatever your state fee. Our state fee is like 150. It's like $54 or something. So total for us, it's $154 to kind of do that kind of stuff. They just fill out the general questions. Are you a sole proprietor? Are you, what kind of business are you? Those kind of things. And your address and what kind of business are you? Most of the time that our business, you can't check. It's other, they don't consider music like advertising or construction or anything like that. So, but they're really, really simple forms to fill out. And they can do all the paperwork for you. They will send you the paperwork when it's complete. And then you take the paperwork, you take your money, and you take your ID, and you go to any bank that you want to and ask them for a checking account. You don't have to have a business card. You don't have to have, the domain name. You don't have to have any of that stuff. It's just go to your favorite bank. Check to see what the bank does for businesses. Because sometimes you can ask and they'll actually give you one credit card under your business name just to start. Something with a small balance or something like that. But some of them will charge you $15 for a checking account every single month. And we have had a problem with one bank where we had our personal and our savings there, and we added our business account. But if we wanted to move any money to or from our personal accounts, we actually had to go into the bank. Talk about old school. Go into the bank. So you need to check to see what they have. What are the possibilities? And so go around and check it out. Just check with each one and see which one works for you. So important to make sure that your money, it gets to where it needs to be. We will have lots of talks on this network about social media, how you market your songs, all that kind of stuff. But today, you should start one today. I don't care who it is. I don't care what you're using. I don't care if it's Facebook or Instagram or X or TikTok or whatever the new thing is right now. Choose one. Try to post twice a week. And even if you're not doing music yet, let people know you're a musician and you're starting. Let people know, your friends, your family, anybody that they know, that people will start to get to know who you are. Get in the habit to do it now, and it will really make a difference when you start really promoting your music. The easiest networks, of course, are Facebook and Instagram. Every single venue I know has a Facebook page, so whatever you're doing on Instagram, you can actually go to the Meta business side, and you can actually share it in both areas, those kind of things. Want to really connect with your fans? Start an email list, right? It's very important. I always said I feel like people don't believe me doing that stuff. But one of the musicians that we know, I suggested that to him, and what he did was he went into all of his Instagram people. He left them a personal message and said, "Hi, I'm going to have some new music out pretty soon. Would you be willing to give me your email?" And he said when he posted on social media about listening to his new song, some people would listen on social media, but 95% of the people that were on his email list pushed the button and listened. So it's really important. My friend who does PR every day from Trend PR, he always says, people will like your music, but they will love who you are. You need to share who you are, what you're all about with everybody. So they'll open up and listen to your music. So that's the key to kind of the social media stuff. We'll be doing a whole lot more in social media, but you know what? Start now. Just have something you start that you want to do on Tuesdays or Thursdays or wherever you feel like. It doesn't have to be on that long, right? And then really this last part that I want to talk to you guys about is making time to do it yourself. Deborah Johnson was talking about not only knowing your business, but she is the queen of time management. She always laughs at me, but I can't believe she can do as much as she can do. So These are three things that I know that you can start this week. We'll do a lot of other stuff on time management, but these three things you can do this week. Number one, make a Google Calendar, right? So schedule everything that you have, your duties, your work, your obligations, if you work out certain times of the day, all those kind of things. Put all the things down, and then you want to go back and see if you have one or two blocks of time that you're not sure, what am I doing on Friday between 3 and 6? I'm done my classes, I don't have to work. So take the block for yourself. I don't care what day and time it is, and concentrate on what you need to do with your business, or maybe you write songs or whatever it is. You will find that if you put that down and you don't give it away, so you don't go to a movie with your friends, pretend you paid for a gym appointment, and because you paid for it, you're not going to miss it, right? So you really want to do that because you will get a lot done. If you get to the end of the week and you're going, what did I do this week? It means you're too busy, and you really need to sit down. And I'm just suggesting for the next couple of weeks, schedule everything out. And if you schedule a little bit of time for your career, by the end of a month or two, you will have a lot completed. So there's really no reason to procrastinate if you really has everything really scheduled out. I think it's a number one thing if you're having problems with time management. The next thing is take vocal or music lessons. Even the biggest of stars take lessons from somebody who's better. They also rehearse their music craft often. And I always feel like that if you're in a band, or even if you're a solo artist, if you don't rehearse your songs or sit around and write new songs and work on them a couple times a week, then why are you doing this thing? So you want to constantly be rehearsing, getting better, and we do that by taking vocal and music lessons. There's always somebody better than you. And even if you only take them twice a month or something like that, take the time and spend the money to go to somebody who's bigger than you, who is better than you, and so they can guide you to be better yourself. The better you are, the better your songs are going to be, the better performer you're going to be. So taking vocal and music lessons, number one. And then my last thing here is ask for support. These are the three things, again, I think you can do this week. Let your family, your partners, your friends know that you're needing support to begin to add music as an important element in your life. They need to know that you want to do this for real, and it can take time and money away from everything, and you just need people who support you. And sometimes it's another musician, and it doesn't have to be somebody who's professional. It doesn't have to be a teacher. It doesn't have to be a mentor. It would be nice if it was a mentor, but if it doesn't have to be, it could just be another musician. And maybe it's not even the same kind of music, but you like each other, and you're both in this music jungle yourself, and you can bounce ideas off of each other. And so finding that support is going to push you forward when times get tough, and they certainly get tough. I want to remind you, that I say this over and over again, that time and money always gets in the way of what we want to do. So accept it, and it's okay to move a deadline once, but not twice. Twice means you're procrastinating somewhere, and is it important or is it not, or maybe you need some help. So I really think those three things you can do this week. Start a Google Calendar to pick some time to do this for real. See if you can take vocal lessons and do some rehearsal, and then ask for support of the people around you. Stay around people who are positive and not people who are trying to bring you down. I know that sometimes is hard, but it is the way people get through and do that kind of stuff. And last but not least here is Deborah was talking about being techie. She says she's learned to be more techie, how to record, how to put her own blogs up, how to do all that kind of stuff. And it's really, she has automated a lot of things, so she can go away for 2 weeks and things will be automated for her. So I'm just going to give you a couple of things that I use that I know that are simple, and I know that you could do them too. One is we just took some pictures and we needed some editing on them, and I use something called PicMonkey, PicMonkey. And there's a free version, and then there's a paid version. I think it's maybe $9.99 or something like that a month, and it gives you more things that you can do on your photos and stuff like that. Really does help to do those kind of things and not wait for some graphic guy to do it for you who is busy or charges you a lot of money. So it's something that you can, I think that you guys can do. There's other networks too, just don't pay a whole lot of money for them, right? Metadata, talked about this before. Contact information on your digital copy for each of your songs. Again, make sure that the information's on there. Canva. I am so glad I discovered Canva. People kept telling me about it. You can you do flyers and social posts, and there's a free version of that too. I think I have the $12.99 one because it gives me so much more templates and stuff like that. And it really can make you look professional, and it's kind of fun. So you can do your own graphics if you have your own ideas and kind of go from there. So try Canva, take a look at it. Try the free version and see if it doesn't help you at all. Social media, you don't know what to do, then start a Facebook page, right? You can go on live, you can just post things, you can, add people to your list, all that kind of stuff. If you like to do photos and stuff like that, then do an Instagram. Really simple, but you need to get involved in social media. It is not going away, people. It is free promotion. Make sure that you can look at that kind of stuff. Then we're doing all this stuff on Zoom right now, right? So record yourself on Zoom. Sit down in front of the computer, just like we're doing here, and sing a song. And when you do that, you can actually set it up so you can actually go to Facebook or YouTube live if you want. And then you get the copy of the video, and they also pull the audio off. So you will have a copy of it. Zoom for me costs, I don't know, 16 something a month. Everybody has Zoom. You probably have one. But you can do different networks with music and all kind of stuff. But you know what? I have people doing it on Zoom all the time. Just test it out. If you don't like it, do it again. Those kind of things. But you can do it right here on your computer. Don't have to need anything special. And then if you need to do some editing and stuff like that, go to GarageBand to record your music, that kind of stuff, or do it on your phone. I have heard some great things on iPhones. We even did some live videos, and man, it not only looked good, it sounded great. So we don't have to spend a lot of money to make us look professional. So, so important. And these are just basic things. We're learning as we go. So you can get involved in learning Pro Tools, and you want to learn Adobe and all that kind of stuff. This stuff is basic, right? So you can move into that stuff if you want to, but we can do a whole lot of stuff right now pretty soon. Within a couple weeks, you will be up and running with things that you're doing. Our next podcast, we'll interview the musician Robert E. Lee. He's a musician, music creator, music placement specialist, and now a comedy and music show creator. I can't wait for you to hear how he started, how he pushed forward, how he started as a musician, playing with KC and the Sunshine Band, and continued to do that for a long time, how he started placing songs into TV and movies, how he started a comedy and music TV show, those kind of things. It's so interesting that you start in one place and you develop into doing a lot more of different kinds of things. And so he'll be next that we interview. And then just for your information, you can sign up for our newsletters, musicbizmentors.com. We have free coaching, individual weekly mentoring sessions, webinars, workshops, industry panels. We'll be doing a webinar coming up pretty soon. And a free DIY musician resort page that I'm getting ready to change over a little bit, but it's there for you. And not just me, but it's other people I think have great videos and instructional things for you. And so I asked permission to put them on the page with those kind of things. If you have any questions or you need any help, please email us at musicbizmentors@gmail.com, or you can call us at 818-376-1380. The other thing that I really want to stress with you guys is that if you know a musician who's been doing it for a living and doing a job that you didn't realize that it was a music job, something that's really interesting, please email or call us and let us know. We would like to interview them. And so we're always looking for more people, especially if they have interesting music jobs. So I want to try to interview as many people as you want to see. Starting with my list coming up again, I'll be interviewing 4 more artists. Performers have been doing it for a long time, and so I want them to tell their story. And I think it really encourages you if you wanted to do one thing or another, and it may give you some ideas to push you along for your career. So that's what we had today for you. Learn your business. It's so important, and it doesn't take a lot to get you started. So we're here to, again, to encourage you to whatever music career that you're trying to get into, and you'll be seeing a lot more of us diving into different careers and also telling you how to begin, how you research things and stuff like that. So please tune in again. Please share this with another musician or friend that might benefit from this. And please come back and see our podcast again. This is Chris Fletcher from Music Biz Mentors, signing off on our podcast, Making Money, Making Music. Thank you so much for joining us.